Assalamu alaikum. It's been a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? Almost 2 weeks, and I have an excuse. I've had internet issues. So without getting into the gory details, which are boring for both of us, I'm going to give you where I left off. It was the last chapter, and I was so happy. It was the last chapter about Seher, and it was even an hour long, and it cut off in the middle, and I couldn't retrieve it. So I've decided to make these lessons brief for a while because I have to upload them on my phone now. And that's another long, boring story. You don't have to hear about it. So let's begin right away and make up for lost time and keep this, inshallah, under half an hour, preferably 20 minutes. So now, this chapter is called Bayan Shay'in min Anwa' Sihr, clarifying something of the different types of magic. We'll begin with this hadith. قال أحمد حدثنا محمد بن جعفر حدثنا عوف عن حيان بن علاء حدثنا قعن بن قبيصة. Never heard of any of these people. عن أبي أنه سمع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, he heard Prophet Muhammad say, إن العيافة والطرق والطيرة من Egypt. So these different types of Egypt. Egypt means magic. If you want to use the common parlance. It's funny, gypped means to be ripped off in the English slang. We say, oh, he gypped me, he took too much money. And also, Egypt. Can you hear gypped? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can read into that whatever you like. I'm going to try, as I said, to make it a little bit shorter because I can't use the regular Wi-Fi to upload now, right at this point. He's explaining that it can either be kufr or fisq. It can either be outright disbelief, these things that are coming up, or just corruption on the earth. Because istikhdam shaitan wa ma ashba dhalik. It's all things that shaitan does. وكذلك ما ذكروه هنا الأنواع السحر. منها هو كفر ومنها من الفسق. He just said the exact same thing all over again. But he wants to make sure you understand that it is not of the Sharia and no proofs for it in the Sharia. Now, I don't want to give you all the details because I said we're going to try to keep this brief. Now, just to give you a brief definition. The Zajr tayr is some sound birds make that they believed in this. It's called ayafa. And then khat, yukhatuf bil ard. Something else that they are nervous about, it's called tarq. And they're drawing lines in the earth as a form of magic that they believed in. Okay. It says that the Zajr tayr litasha'am aw tafa'ul. The bird noises can either lead to pessimism or optimism. And it says this Zajr tayr, you're hearing it, you're going to decide imma to go right or to left, or to travel or to not travel. The tarq, the drawing the lines, Fassarahu Auf, one of the narrators, Auf, he said that this is Kanahu min at-tariq. It's called Tarq because it's pointing out almost like a street, a tariq. Min tarq al-ard bi taraqaha idha sara alayha. So it's called Tarq, that you're following. It's like it's a road and these lines are indicating which way that you should go. Now, we have to understand here that there's no power other than Allah. And all of this is from ilm al-ghaib. It's from the unseen. Now, if you want to talk about a line in the sand, let's talk about a correct line in the sand. Prophet Muhammad drew a line in the sand. His Sahaba were there. And he drew it from up to down, top to bottom. And he said, Hada sirati mustaqim. This is the straight path. Fattabi'u. And follow it. But then he drew branches like offshoots on either side. And he said, Fala tattabi'u subul. Don't follow any other offshoots. Why? Ala ra'si kullu ash-shaytan. And he put a little like a circle on the, the extending lines. He'd put a little circle and say, don't follow any of these, because at the head is a shaitan. So this means follow the sunnah. But of course, although this seems perfectly clear, as clear as you could ever want it to be clear, Prophet Muhammad did it and spoke it. But what did they do? No. They'd rather listen to bird noises or bird motions or so many other wayward ideologies, because shaitan is clever in making them go on the wrong path. Okay, so I think we can go to the next hadith, because we said we want to conserve now the time due to the upload. And Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ومن اقتبس شعبة من النجوم فقد اقتبس شعبة من السحر. Now, this is talking about astrology, astronomy, the Borg. Borg means, the horoscope. Anything like this is no. Don't even go there. Don't look up in the sky and say, oh, that star is telling me something. Or that moon or sun or planet. All of this stuff is not what we are supposed to be following as Muslims. We are supposed to follow Kalam Allah fil Quran wa as-Sunnatul Rasul Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That should be enough for us, shouldn't it? The words of Allah and the words of Prophet Muhammad should be way enough. But people don't pay attention. They seem to think that all these other things are more interesting for them. This word iktabasa, it means ta'allama, because if you learn something of this, it's going to fascinate you, and somehow it's a test from Allah to see if you will follow this. And it's the truth, because when we were kids in school, we'd all want to do our horoscope, and we'd be fascinated at some of the qualities. I'm a Virgo. Well, it's all Virgo. That's me. I'm 100% Virgo. And we'd get confused. My sister, she was the Aries, and she was such an Aries, and people would wonder. So, of course, in those days, they'd ask the priest, and the priest would say, this is a test. This isn't real. You're not supposed to follow it. The same thing that the shuyukh say. So just take it from there. Don't follow your horoscope. It's evil. And then another, he's talking about tying knots. And this is another hadith from Abu Hurairah. Man aqada aqda summa nafatha fiha faqad sahar. If you tie knots and you blow on them, فقد السحر. What does that mean? فقد السحر. ومن سحر فقد أشرك. So whoever does this has made shirk. ومن تعلق شيئا وكل عليه. So tying amulets and so forth. If you tie these amulets, you're going to be told, okay, depend on your amulet then. See where that gets you. I think we had mentioned this previously, but hanging things, drawing things, all of these tests that Allah has given us are just useless, really useless. So, another hadith, عن ابن مسعود أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ألا هل نبئكم ما عض هي نميمة وقاله بين الناس. The question was asked, Prophet Muhammad was asked, and he said, shall I inform you of what is the Adda, the dog, the Adda? He said it's namima. It's gossip between people. So now, I had never heard that word before, but it is explained here. Istiqdam at-tashweek. And then he gives here a verse of Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. This is Surah As-Saf. لأن الإنسان مشتاق العلوم يحب يعلم. He's saying here, people love to learn things. They're eager to learn. And so he's telling them, shall I tell you about something that's going to be really useful for you? And it's going to tanjikum min adab alim. It's going to keep you away from a painful punishment. It's not all this nonsense we've been previously referred to. It's learning what Allah wants from you. So that's why Prophet Muhammad said, what is the meaning of anbi'akum, akhbarakum, giving you news? وهي مرادفة للخبر عن اصطلاح المحدثين. It's telling you, the hadith experts are telling you this. قال بعض العلماء من ناحية اللغة لا الاصطلاح. Those who are experts in the language, they will say إن الأنباء لغة يكون في أمور الهامة. The word النبأ is used for important subjects. فالإخبار أعم منه. It's more general. أخبار is more general. يكون في الهامة وغير الهامة. Interesting, because in the Arab world, أخبار is called the news. When you open the TV and you want to get the news, they call it al-akhbar. So it says here it's for important and not important. The word al-adda, dog, على وزن الحبل والصمت والوعدة بالمعنى القطعة. It means to cut something. أما العدة على وزن الحدة فإنها التفريق. And then if you put the tashkil in a different way, the kasr and the fatha, it's called to divide. So it's either to cut or to divide. قطعا وتفريقا, to separate. And this is what we say is namima. Gossip separates people and it creates a lot of harm. And when you think about it, والنميمة كما أخبر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تقطع السلة وتفريقا بين الناس. You know, it's to break up families, to break up marriages, to break up friendships. Literally, قطع, to cut the silat rahim, to cut all the goodness from the world. هذا يشبه السحر بتفريق. This is probably one of the most important sentences on this subject. People don't understand. That's why I'm trying to help you. Sihr is not real. So when this word sihr is used in the sense of tafriqan bayna nas, some evil people have done things to cause dissension, disruption, disengagement, enmity between other people. How they do it, there's a myriad of ways that Allah tests them with. And when they do it and they cooperate with jinn and shayateen and all of this, yeah, it could be that it would result in divorce, strained family relations where one brother doesn't speak to his brother for 20 years. All of this is a result of people falling into satanic traps, you see. Now, here's the excuse they always use. This verse from Quran. No, it is real. Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فيتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه. This is in Surah Baqarah. They said, no, it says right here that they learn the magic and they can break up people. Which people do they break up? Those that fall into the trap. So, here's another verse in the Quran, Surah Qalam. وَلَا تُؤْتِيُ كُلَّ هَلَافٍ مُهِينٍ هَمَّازٍ مَّشَّاءٍ بِنَمِيمٍ. Do not obey everyone who goes around swearing, oh, wallahi, 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 and they are gossiping. Hammazin masha'in binamim. They're walking around gossiping about everyone, spreading evil tales. And the result is, as we know, we live in the world, we know what happens. But Allah says here, another Quranic verse, Surah Al-Anfal, وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشُلُوا وَتَذْهَبُوا رِيحُكُمْ. Do not argue, because if you do, you're going to fail. And you're going to take away تَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ, your energy. Like rih, you were sailing along well, and then you fought, and everything just turned bad. Here's another one that is extremely important. عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن من البيان للسحر. And this is Hadith al-Bukhari. The previous Hadith of Bukhari and Ahmad. Bayan means to elaborate, elucidate, to clarify. Prophet Muhammad is saying here, some of it is sihr. What? What do you mean? I thought clarification was good. Not always. Because when people are silver-tongued devils, and that's a description of politicians, they can spin your head around with their eloquence. And they can make you believe whatever they say is good and right and correct, when it's the opposite. Right here, there's a famous hadith. لا يبيع بعضكم على بيع بعض. If you are a Muslim, do not jump over your brother Muslim's offer. This is talking about baya wa shtara. Sale, a sale. If he's already got it, he wants it, don't try to get it away from him. And here's another one. لا يخطب الرجل على خطبة أخيه. And don't talk over someone. Now, you see this word, لا يخطب الرجل على خطبة أخيه. Now, I have heard this described that the khutbah means the engagement. But a khutbah is also a sermon when you speak. So if you're going to wonder, does it mean don't go in an engaged person's already pledged their troth, as we say, and then try to take her away? Or does it mean don't interrupt? Let's go into that more. Inshallah, I'll let you know next time. And then he's once again saying that not all bayan is sihr. Some of it is sihr if it's got an evil intention to mislead people. Send them astray by your words. And al-bayan, he says it means the fasaha wal balagha. overly explaining in complicated terms in very flowery language something. But in Surah Rahman, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ عَلَّمَهُ الْبَيَّانَ. So the true bayan is good bayan, explaining, clarifying in a way that pleases Allah, not being tricky and trying to get your way with words, as we say. We say in English, oh, he has a way with words, and it's not meaning nicely. It means he can make your head spin around and you won't know which end is up, as we say. Okay. 2059. All right. I want to give you just one more, but I want to make sure that I give you the best that is the most pertinent. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll let well enough alone, because remember we said we're going to upload this with the mobile data, and it's very slow. I mean, sometimes it will, you see this 20-minute lesson, it may take 6 or 8 hours to upload. And so please, listeners, could you make some dua that I'm going to figure this out? And I'm technologically extremely incompetent. I think a 3-year-old knows more about the net and the phones and the laptop and more than I do. And that's because they grew up with it, and I didn't grow up with it. And so when I was writing my PhD, I had to learn the whatever it meant, whatever code, whatever system. I don't even know the words, but I had to do it myself. I was alone, and it was frustrating, and I was in a very bad psychological state of trying to get the PhD written and learn what a mouse is, what a click means. It was just terrible. You don't want to hear my sob story. I know you don't. But it's a continuing saga of Salah ad-Din's ineptitude. And people say, well, why don't you just take a course? Why don't you learn it? And I said, because I hate it. And so all those hours could be better spent in reading more Quran, reading more Hadith, and studying Arabic grammar. That's another thing I love, which is, I'm not saying it's, I don't want to say these words, but you know, when you read Quran and Hadith, it's like, it's delicious. You're just in total happiness and cozy, warm feelings about the words of Allah and His Messenger. But you know what? Arabic is not like that. Arabic is wonderful, and we love it, and we need it. But it's, I don't want to put a word on it, because everyone said, oh, Arabic is so hard. How did you learn it? Arabic is not hard. And it's not really complicated. Arabic is huge, and it's very rich. They call it the Bahar. There's no end to it. And it's challenging, but it's very rewarding. So the words of Allah, I mean, that's it, it's Quran. So how are you going to appreciate the words of Allah if you don't know Arabic? Because there's a lot of mistakes in translation. And I just, once again, in my remaining few minutes, I would like to encourage you. There's so much on the internet now. And if you could even take it in little, they call them reels, shorts. I don't know the difference, but there are a couple of women, 2 Egyptian women, that are doing such a wonderful job in this. And I would encourage you to listen to them. Okay, it's in Arabic. They don't do it in English. But you'll get it if Allah opens your heart to it. I have to figure out how to put this on my channel. So if I encourage you, for instance, to listen to one or the other, I will give you it inside my lesson. This should be pretty elementary in order to get it in there, but of course I don't know how. So I think Allah has put me on pause and not allowed me to upload these past few weeks. I don't think it's been 2 weeks. Could it be that bad? I'm sure you're all wondering. I don't want you worrying about me, but I've been doing this so frequently, and now I've just seemingly, I feel like I've left my flock. I've left the children unattended because I feel so guilty. But honestly, it was just extenuating circumstances. So now we'll see how this uploads tonight, okay? And then I'll do another one. And I might wake up in the middle of the night and do that one so that at least you'll get two, okay? And once again, ahlan beek, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome back. I apologize, it was out of my hands, and I hope you missed me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh, by the way, we are in a war now. Don't worry about it. Allah has completely got this under control, and He knows what He's doing. And as we know in our aqidah, the oppressors, the bad people, Allah yusalatum alawat. Allah will allow them to destroy each other. And He knows very well who, when, where, why, and how. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.